This episode is brought to you by Cartamax. Life on the front line requires you step up your game. Owned and operated by former Navy SEAL Sean Matson, Cartamax has designed just the right supplements for you and is offering American Party an exclusive offer. Buy one, get one free in your first order. Go to Cartamax.com and use the promo code American. That's Cartamax.com, helping you achieve your max.
Be best.
Fuck you.
Hey, Dan, I would just like you to be best.
Well, if that didn't piss you off, I think we've got something today that will.
Yeah, this is
kind of a continuation of the MVM Inc. company, who, just to remind everyone, is the organization that is taking control of these illegal immigrant children and trafficking them all over the country.
Well, first off, Dan, before we get into the deep stuff, I gotta tell you, you're looking good today.
Thanks.
Yeah.
It's a weird thing to say, but
really? I do like your shirt. Where did you get that?
From drinkingbros.com. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna check it out because I like that shirt.
You should. Yeah, this is a good shirt.
Yeah. It says my pronouns are get and
fucked.
Yeah.
Which is, just to say that I was social distancing a long time before it became cool, Stay away. Just stay away from me is all I'm saying. Not you personally, but definitely. Also you, but not just you, I guess, is what I meant to say.
Like I don't understand. Like, I'm bringing my gun from now on.
Why don't you?
Well, I didn't know we were going to have a fucking duel off right here on the podcast.
We're not having a duel. I just took my gun out of my pants.
I did that once and almost got in trouble.
Yeah, hashtag me too, right?
Oh, man. Are we wearing the same pants today, Dan?
I don't know. I'm wearing Lululemon pants, so probably not.
Yeah. There's no chance in hell you'd ever catch me in a set of fucking Lululemon pants.
Why not? These pants are awesome.
Huh?
They're really comfortable.
Yeah. Okay.
I wear fucking jogging pants most of the time, but I also don't want to look poor.
Okay.
So that's pretty much the size of it.
Yeah. I mean, Lululemon pants.
Yeah. Look,
yeah, whatever.
I don't have a small dick.
Yeah.
And I'm not insecure about my status in the world, so I'm going to wear whatever the fuck I want. So.
Well, I can't say that I don't have a small dick, but what I can say is that I'm not insecure about my status.
Right. So wear what you want then. What are you wearing? 5'11" strike pants so you can be an operator?
Yeah. Yeah, man.
And a fast helmet when you go to sleep at night?
Well, actually, I've been training on the range with my body armor. I'm going to put my, what rig you run?
I have no idea what that means.
Well, you don't?
No.
It's because you're not fucking operator status.
Yeah, I'm not cool
so
enough.
what your rig is like what's your vest?
Well, I tell you the one that I do like actually is the Cry Precision JPC, the jumpable plate carrier. That's my favorite vest for sure, but I don't like wear it. I don't even have one. Yeah, I just like it. I mean, I do need to get one because.
For sure. I mean, yeah, you're going to really fucking need it. Yeah, I mean,
for me, needing it means it's just going to be more convenient. Like, I don't have to drive my car. Well, I mean, we go to the Black Rifle range, so we just drive right up to it, and you can put all your shit on the hood of your vehicle. But I've been scratching it up, so I either need to get one of those mechanic blankets that you put on cars to put your tools and shit on to stop scratching my fucking hood, or get a plate carrier to put my magazines in. It's one of the two, right? Yeah. Although I think or
you just put them in your fucking pockets.
I put them in my back pockets a lot, too. I probably still need the blanket anyways because I'm, like, shucking rounds and fucking whatever the fuck on the hood. Dude, anyway, even if I did have the carriers, I'd probably still be doing it anyways, to be honest.
Yeah, you should probably, but I think you should get a kit, maybe get a helmet, probably get a helmet.
With a light on it?
Yeah, and I think you should get definitely one of those scarves,
Well, I mean, look, here's what I did.
You've already got the beard.
Yeah. Over the weekend, I bought like 60 Punisher t-shirts.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And I bought a nice bow and compound bow with exploding tip rounds.
Dude.
So if I have to go into Laos or something to rescue Christian missionaries,
for sure,
I'll be able to do that.
Well, so I think that like guys who wear all this kit and shit, Like, look, if you're training on the range for a reason, then it makes sense. But whoever wears it all the time, they're kind of like the guys who bought Affliction in Walmart.
Yeah.
To be like,
but
MMA
to be
fighters.
fair, every Navy SEAL I know wore Affliction shit about 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Let's be real. And they all had, before it was cool to do it, they all had lined up fucking beards and shit. I mean,
yeah, man.
Just SEALs though. Everybody else, like Green Berets are a little fratty, but they weren't clean cut. SEALs like Ray Care is the one that I always think of. I bet he has, you know how women put their winter clothes in bins and store them during the summertime? Guaranteed that Ray Care has a fucking whole closet full of Affliction stuff that he's waiting for it to come back. Dude, if it comes back in, Ray's going to be day one. He'll be head to toe in Affliction shit.
Hey, we got Timmy Little in here. He seems like, I bet he didn't serve. Did you, Timmy?
Van's got to stay in business.
Elitist Dakota on who the posers are. I don't understand it.
Let's see. BRCC, the gatekeepers about this.
Oh, no, he's just kind of lanky.
I can't understand what he's saying.
I don't know. SEALs have the best hair. Oh, for sure. Ray Care. Ray Care is awesome, though.
Yeah, we love Ray. Excuse me, more than I love him, I love making fun of him.
Yeah, he likes it too.
He enjoys the attention. He doesn't care if it's positive or negative, to be honest.
Yeah.
But the most famous SEAL, Rob, doesn't fit any of those molds. I mean, he does fit he's written a couple of books now, so he's got that one down.
Yeah.
But he's not like, and he's a good looking man, but he's only got the goatee, never rocks the full beard, doesn't wear the fucking cool guy shit.
Rob, if you know Rob,
Rob's almost like an accidental SEAL.
Yes,
like he's the outcast SEAL.
Rob is like, he is not your typical.
No,
like
especially not a dev group. Well, that's not true. He's very professional.
Oh, he isn't.
But like the SEAL. All the fucking stereotypes about SEALs, he is none of those things.
No, and that's what's really so funny about Rob is like Rob is you would never expect him to have done the shit that he's done.
No, I would expect him to be fucking, to be honest, like on parole.
Yeah.
If I'm not even kidding. I legit expect him to be on parole.
I talked to him on the way over here, and he wants to come on the show.
Well, he's been on our show, the American Party.
Yeah,
he's been on Drinking Bros a lot. His dad's been on Drinking Bros, for fuck's sake.
Hey, bro. It's not all about Drinking Bros. It's also about the American Party podcast.
Well, it certainly is.
Okay, that's what we're talking about, okay?
Here's what I'm upset about. He's promised me that he's going to get me one of those pork chop sandwiches from that place in Butte, Montana, and I still haven't seen it yet. So when you talk to him again, tell him that until that happens, he's not coming on any of our shows.
Yeah.
And we're also going to boycott his charity golf tournament with Kid Rock and John Daly, etc. in Nashville this year.
Yeah, I'm with you, man.
Until I get a goddamn pork chop sandwich, man.
Yeah, Rob. We need some pork chop sandwiches.
I'm just kidding. We'll have to go to Butte, Montana for that. I doubt those things travel.
Have you been there?
No, not to Butte. I've been to Montana.
Let's go.
I was just in Billings last year, actually, for a couple of days.
I love asking Rob. I love whenever I call him up and I'll have friends around and I'll be like, hey, Rob, can you tell us how tall bin Laden was? And he goes, not that tall.
I mean, he looked taller standing up. On the ground, it's hard to tell. But was he like 6'4", 6'5"? I think he's 6'5".
6'4".
Yeah. Well, now he's 0.
Yeah.
Because he's at the bottom of the goddamn ocean. Yeah, that guy was kind of a cunt.
You're the man.
Thanks.
So, what do you think about this weather in Texas right now?
It's weird. I'll say that. I mean, I guess it is prolonging what is sure to be an incredibly hot summer, or not prolonging, but belaying. But
it's fucking letting all the mosquitoes come out.
Yeah, it's gonna be mosquito city here, and 2 weeks when it clears up, it's just gonna be fucking covered.
It already is.
I haven't seen it that much because I don't go outside.
I've had to call our bug people back like 4 fucking times.
You got a bug guy?
From my house, yeah. Also, this is exactly what happened when it flooded in 2015.
Fucking white people, man. Yeah, I got a bug guy.
Yeah,
what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, my bug guy came in.
Every day Rob comes in talking about some new home project he's got going on, dude. Just shut the fuck up.
Yeah, get a fucking life, Rob.
He is. This is his life.
Yeah.
The next step when there will be a second child and then a boat. That'll be next. Mm-hmm. No, I mean, I just got a boat, so I can't talk shit about that, but that's a white man thing, right? That's the next step in the white man hierarchy. I can't believe you got a boat. Why? Boats are dope as shit.
I mean, I just can't.
Who are you going to take on it?
You. Let's go. Can I be?
You can't be the captain now.
No, I don't want to be the captain.
But you can keep doing this and saying, I am the captain now once we get intoxicated.
Does it have, does it have a crow's nest?
No, it's not that big.
Fuck, we need to put a crow's nest on it. And like, can we fly the Jolly Roger flag?
Actually, I don't know if that's legal.
Why?
Well, I know that all vessels that are U.S. registered have to have a U.S. flag on them. Like so if you're even in a lake, you can be your vessel can be called into action. Like your boat can be drafted into the war effort if necessary. It's like some old naval law.
Yeah.
My buddy was he does customs work, mostly shipping stuff, and he took me through all this one day. It's fucking nuts.
Bro, can we again? I don't give a fuck about that. We're going to fly the Jolly Rogers flag on the fucking boat. I guess,
man. I don't fucking know.
Why not?
Why not? Who's going to stop us?
And I'm going to cut my fucking leg off and get a wooden leg and a fucking parrot.
You should. Or we could just have Derek White come. And
or Crispy.
Or Omar or Derek Carver. I mean, Jay Limp. Anybody that got their leg blown off, basically.
Let's do it.
We'll just have a whole team of dudes with one leg.
Fuck yeah. I mean, so let's take the boat out when it stops raining.
Yeah.
Fuck, we can take it out while it's raining. We're going to get wet anyways.
Yeah.
You're always wet when we're hanging out anyways.
I am, yeah.
So, I've been reading through all these notes of today's show, and I'm going to just warn everyone up front. This is your warning. You are going to be fucking furious.
Yeah.
When you hear the facts of what is happening to all these children that are coming over. I just want to know why. I just want to know why AOC is not all over this. This is something that you think that AOC she'd be on this like a hobo on a ham sandwich. You know what I mean?
Because she doesn't care.
She doesn't give a fuck.
She doesn't actually care about anything. She just wants attention.
Are y'all ready for this?
Otherwise, when real things happen, she would be involved. She wouldn't be staring into a fucking empty parking lot crying for a camera, for example.
Word, as she drives her $70,000 Tesla.
Yeah, and then post 2 weeks later about how her grandmother in Puerto Rico is poor. Like, shit, dude, you could have gotten a $30,000 car and
maybe gave her 30 grand.
Yeah.
Word to your mother.
Anyways,
let's go. Let's roll, Dan. Let's fucking roll. Spit some fire.
So we've talked about MVM Inc. Everybody's seen that episode, presumably. If you haven't, it's a company that is taking possession of illegal immigrant children and trafficking them all over the country with little to no oversight about where they're going, and the Biden administration refuses to answer questions about where they're going. Well, now we found out from some CBP agents exactly where they're going. A lot of the kids are going to random family members or people who are lying about being family members. They can't actually prove that they're family members. Those kids are likely just evaporating into the ether somewhere and being trafficked for something. What we can report on is a company called Southwest Key Programs, excuse me, based out of Austin, Texas.
Right here.
Right down the street. The company was founded by a former migrant farm worker named Juan Sanchez, who acted as CEO until 2019. He had to leave for age, probably. He was 73.
Bro, it's 0.6 miles away from where we're at right now.
Yeah.
It's right here.
Yeah, maybe we'll do a live show from their fucking front yard sometime pretty soon. So in the first year in operation, they housed 21 juvenile offenders on parole using a $200,000 state grant. That was in 1989. In 1996, the company opened their first child detention centers, and then under the Obama administration were able to open numerous additional shelters. Southwest Key now owns and operates 26 shelters for unaccompanied immigrant minors in California, Arizona, Texas, capable of housing more than 5,000 children. This is as of 2018. We couldn't find any newer reporting because
of course you couldn't,
because Southwest Key Programs is a very closely guarded secret of the federal government. In fiscal 2018, the company received $458 million in revenue from grants.
$458 million.
And a total revenue of $646 million, so over $500 million.
So here's what I want to ask you. Do you think, what type of housing do you think 5,000 kids are in?
Well, we'll get into that. One of them in Brownsville, Texas, is an abandoned warehouse. Used to be owned by Walmart. So beyond the fact, so this is a 501c3. This is a nonprofit organization. And what they've done is something that a lot of shady nonprofits do, which is to set up a bunch of shell companies, for-profit shell companies that the nonprofit pays to do certain things, right? So if you're a nonprofit organization doing federal contracts, you are limited in how much you can pay your chief salaries,
so they should,
CEO, et cetera.
So basically they just outsource it.
So they make
consulting.
Yes, they make all the people they want to give money to consultants or C-level people and the for-profit stuff, and then pay through that way, right? It's embezzlement, basically. It's against federal law. At one point, Southwest Key, here, I was going to go through some of their shady banking practices, of which there are a lot. We can't get to all of them, but there's a lot. Let's see. At one point, Southwest Key loaned $6 million to a shell company called Shackbach, Chacbak, which was run by Raphael Chacon, Chacon, and Ryad Bakalem, Bakalem. So the company Shackbach is a combination of their two names, to buy and renovate a closed Walmart in Brownsville. That place is still there. The two owners, Chacon and Bakalem, then formed a separate company called Randr Ventures, Randr Ventures, which took out a $10 million loan from an Arkansas bank. Randr Ventures then bought the Walmart from Shackbach, essentially selling the property to themselves at a higher cost, at $4 million more than what they had paid for it. Randr Ventures then used the rest of the loan to pay for further renovations before finally renting the location to Southwest Keys for $400,000 a month.
A month? Damn, that's good money.
Yeah. That is $4.8 million a year. They paid $6 million for this property, and they're making $4.8 million a year in rent from the nonprofit.
Yeah.
Using federal funds with no bank or government oversight. It's very easy for companies to hide kickbacks and other shady deals. Very easy, and you're seeing it right here. This is one of the examples. Now, I've been wondering to myself and aloud, what the fuck is happening here? My mind immediately, because it's children, goes to trafficking, because that is usually the culprit. That's usually what happens. And it looks like it is, right? But I don't know why I didn't immediately think about money.
It all comes down to fucking money.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty much all, it's always money. But it's not just money, right? Here are some of the abuse allegations launched against this organization, Southwest Key. In July 2018, one worker at a Southwest Key shelter in Phoenix was accused of molesting a teenage girl in their care. In September of the same year, an HIV-positive worker was convicted of sexually abusing 7 teenage boys. Another Arizona shelter was temporarily shut down after Southwest Key staff members were accused of physically abusing 3 children. Southwest Key has closed 2 shelters and paid $73,000 in fines due to abuse, allegations, and mismanagement. So they're paying $4.8 million a year in rent for one facility, and that's cool. $73,000 in fines. So they're still pretty profitable, right?
Yeah.
One former employee reported in 2018 that they were told to prevent the children from hugging and comforting one another, later denied by Southwest Key. But this is the same shit that we talked about on Tuesday with the native kids in Canada being forced to culturally assimilate, not being able to talk to their family.
Yep.
It is a form of like sociopathy and control, right? It's a
Yeah.
form of intimidation and torture. Now, no one's surprised by any of this, I would imagine.
I'm not. I mean, I think it's just fucked up, man. I mean, I'm looking at their website right now, looking at their careers. So they have careers open, tons of positions. I mean, they say like immigrant children's shelters. Get your foot in the door. I mean, it's like that is exactly what their website is. That is what they do.
Yeah, and it's not limited to just these guys. So separately, the FBI was in 2018. I don't know whatever happened with this. They were looking into another shelter provider, International Education Services (IES), for possible misuse of federal money. According to two people informed of the inquiry, the nonprofit's founder, Ruben Gallegos, said he had no comment on the investigation. Obviously, Mr. Gallegos' charity, which Sanchez, the person who started Southwest Key, helped create, lost all of its federal contracts in February 2018 for renting shelters owned by charity officials and paying those officials well above the government salary cap for migrant shelter grants. So the federal salary cap is $187,000. If you work for a nonprofit that has federal contracts, you can't make more than that. If you're a C-level executive, the highest paid employee you have cannot make more than that. So what they do, set up shell companies and other charities, as I said.
Well, what they do is like him personally, he goes and buys this building, and then
or he buys it through a cutout. Right.
Well, yeah, he has this company that becomes a rental company or whatever, or like basically he becomes a landlord, and then he just provides the services, and he makes the money off them paying it back. Right? Like that's where they make their fucking money.
Yeah. There's a lot going on here.
It's fucking nuts.
There's a lot going on here. The word that you might use for something like this is profiteering.
Profiteering.
The organization had $61 million in cash on hand at the end of 2018. This is before, by the way, all these numbers that we're quoting. We can't find any new stuff because the government is hiding this shit.
Well, because all this, notice this. You ready? You know why we have this information? Because it came out under Trump.
Yeah.
They were trying to use this, and they started putting this information out under Trump to pin this on Trump when this started under Obama and has only gotten worse, like you said, under Biden. Right?
Right. Yeah. So I'm going to look at some texts and stuff from my CBP contacts. I've got a couple. This is wild stuff. So, excuse me. Just looking for this right now.
Yeah, I mean, this is insane. This is insane.
Yeah, it is. Sorry, just looking for some stuff here. Yeah, this is really weird. So, a lot of fake IDs being stamped by Mexican and Guatemalan officials, and then those officials get charged with crimes in their host countries, and then nobody ever hears from them again. So I don't know if they're just getting whacked out or what.
Hey, you know what would be even crazier? You think the cartel? How much you think the cartel is getting paid?
I know they're not getting paid. Nothing crosses that border from south to north without the cartel getting paid.
I mean, that's what I'm saying.
Like if you're a coyote and you're trying to sneak people over the border and you're not paying a cartel guy, they'll kill you.
Yeah. Hey, and living in Brownsville, having these shelters operate in Brownsville.
Yeah, and mostly via the Catholic Church. And whatever you want to fucking say about the Catholic Church, they have historically been involved in a lot of shit south of the border, like narco-terrorism, for example, child trafficking, etc. So a couple of days after I went on Alex Jones to discuss what we had already discussed about MVM, an email was sent out to everybody in CBP, and it said the following. E3 has been updated with structured data to capture specific information regarding UC sponsors. Commencing immediately, please ensure that processing agents, that is MVM Inc., right?
Yeah.
Complete this when processing UCs. An explanation and screenshot are attached demonstrating required information. This information will allow HHS and ORR to begin vetting sponsors before we send the kits to them. Followed by the phrase from the CBP agent, I think y'all rattled some cages. Supervisors were told that vetting sponsors who are taking responsibility for unaccompanied juveniles will start when the sponsors find out. And if they are illegally present in the U.S., they'll do what they started doing in the beginning, hang up on us, that is CBP, and abandon the child. The attachments, the rest just explained how to enter the sponsor's info, yada, yada, yada. So the kids are placed in shelters. Years ago, people asked, and they said that they would stay there until sponsored meaning a family member or some other responsible adult takes control of them, or until they turn 18 when they can be deported, because they can't be deported as children, I guess.
So basically, let's hold these kids here till they're 18, make money off of them, and then send them back to where they came from.
Yeah. So
this is the worst thing.
Here's the rest of the statement. If you think this situation is poor migrants trying to get their kids into a better situation or blah, 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 let me fucking go ahead and dispel that nonsense for you right now. They're placed in shelters. There's a shelter in Brownsville, the one we're talking about now. Mm-hmm. Constant escapees. Their own fucking parents would abandon them for fear of being deported all the time. Like, that's why they kept changing who can sponsor them, because they couldn't get anybody to take care of these kids. The CBP agent said the look of disbelief in the child's face, listening over the phone to their parents say, "I'm not taking custody, I can't risk being deported," was heartbreaking. CBP would beg them to listen, that no one was going to look for them, they weren't going to be deported, but the parents would not take their kids because they thought it was a trap to deport them. So Southwest Keys is where these kids are going. And the facility in Brownsville is called Southwest Key La Esperanza. I think it is 504 East Washington Street in Brownsville. Fuck you. How about that, buddy? Southwestkey.org is the website. It's the OZANAM Center. It's the former Walmart there. And I'm told from multiple CBP agents that they aren't allowed to go there. CBP agents, the facility is acting as a de facto embassy with diplomatic immunity. The CBP agents are telling me that unless somebody steps out of the building, they can't arrest them, even though they're here illegally. Let's see here. So why can't we go in and grab these people at Casa Romero? It's a church, but yes, they are known to help illegals. Not sure why or what the deal is. When I came in, they just told us to stay away from that place, so we did. Even HSI, that's Homeland Security Investigations, which is the enforcement wing of ICE, isn't allowed to go there.
How does that make sense? How does that make fucking sense?
One of our friends was apparently a huge liberal until she started working with Southwest Key. She didn't vote for Trump twice, and now is she quit the federal government over this, and now just stays at home. So that's where we are for now. we're going to do some sponsors, and I'll get back into all the other ways that these people are profiteering. Now, we've explained what they're doing. They're housing the kids. They're abusing them. They're using cutouts to make money. But the money part gets way worse.
Yeah.
And we'll get to that here in just a few minutes. First, Ghostbed.
Ghostbed.com. Yeah, I've been practicing like it on the way here. I just say it over and over and over.
So you don't say ghost beds?
Yeah. Ghostbed.com. So go check them out. They have been a huge supporter of Drinking Bros since forever. 30% off on all their beds. They have by far the best beds on the market. They got offer. I mean, who can offer a 20-year warranty on a bed?
I have no idea. Somebody that's not worried about their bed getting fucked up. That's for sure.
So it's badass. Me and Dan always talk about the Lux, which has cooling.
But now they've got the 3D matrix.
Now they got the 3D matrix,
which is also cooling.
Yes, also cooling. So that's a big thing. Like if you're, I mean, like when me and Dan sleep in the same bed, we get real fucking hot. So, with the cooling pillow cases, they got cooling sheets too. Like just tons of cooling technology. Cause when I sleep, I get hot. But the big thing is they've got 30% off site wide, and they've been supporting those that support us since before it was cool. Ghostbed is just an incredible company, incredible products as well. 0% down financing, pay as you go, 36 months. That is Ghostbed. So you can go check them out at ghostbed.com/drinking bros. If you're looking for a new bed, that is the place to go.
Yeah, it sure is. My favorite bed of all time.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of sleeping. I never get enough of it, but when I do, it's on a Ghostbed for sure. So I see you guys are talking about it in the comments. That means you're looking it up and finding out some of this stuff, like the fact that since 2003, Southwest Key has received $2.859 billion from the federal government. $3 billion to do this.
$3 billion.
Yeah. So here's the profiteering, right? On paper, the company's a charity, but during his time as CEO, Juan Sanchez, the founder and CEO, former CEO, not anymore, as of 2019, was making more than double what his counterpart at American Red Cross was being paid. Similar organization, right? Between 2008 and 2018, Key collected $1.7 billion in federal grants, including $626 million in 2018 alone. The company also acted as sort of a bank, which is illegal as shit, loaning millions of dollars to real estate developers, which is then repaid with interest.
That's fucked.
To a fucking nonprofit organization using federal dollars. He's taking federal money under the guise of helping people, abusing the kids, then loaning the money out like a loan shark for interest. Instead of purchasing shelters, the quote-unquote charity rents shelters at extremely high cost, all of which are owned by the executives of the fucking company.
Yeah. How fucked is that?
In one instance, Southwest Key paid $117. This is, forget about the $480 or the $400,000 a month for the outside one. Southwest Key paid $117,000 per month for a shelter owned by one of their executives that was previously rented by another entity for $30,000 a month.
So what you're saying is the money's not being spent to take care of fucking kids.
No, it's being given to other people, right? They're stealing from you, the taxpayer, and they're taking your money. They're stealing your money. They're stealing taxpayer money, and what you're getting in return for it is abused children.
Yeah,
it doesn't seem like a great deal for us. 2005, real estate broker Ruth Sue, I guess HSU, formed a limited partnership with Conroe CHS, CONROE CHS, with Sanchez and former CFO Melody Chung as silent partners. Conroe CHS purchased former boarding school dormitories near Houston, which were then rented by Southwest Key as shelters. To date, this is as of 2018, Southwest Key's paid more than $3 million in rent for the Conroe CHS shelters, with most of the money going back to the executives. So the CEO, the chief financial officer, and their partner.
That's fucked.
In 2012, Ruth Sue purchased another shelter near Brownsville, which was also rented by Southwest Key. By renting shelters, Southwest Key is able to circumvent the federal salary cap of $187,000 a year, which allowed Juan Sanchez to earn $1.5 million a year. It's almost 10 times.
I wonder how we find this guy, Juan Sanchez.
Well, he's 73 years old now.
Yeah, but fuck, let's just see what he looks like.
In addition to him making $1.5 million a year, the CEO's wife, Jennifer Sanchez, earned $500,000 a year and didn't even do anything at the company. Melody Chung, the CFO, was paid $1 million per year. All of these people are breaking federal law. Southwest Key has also set up charter schools, which are then forced to utilize the company's for-profit services. They charged 2 of their schools in Austin more than $4.4 million since 2009 for food, maintenance, and janitorial services. That's in a 10-year period, 2009 to 2018. The charity has also charged the schools more than $6.3 million in rent and other unspecified services.
El Presidente.
The guy refers to himself as El Presidente.
Yeah, El Presidente.
He thinks he's some kind of fucking... He positioned himself as some kind of savior. Yeah, throw that photo of this guy up here. Looks like he's had some work done, huh? Little Botox.
Fuck that guy.
Maybe some cheek fillers. This guy should be fucking dragged into the street and beaten to death. Anybody that would put the welfare of children beneath their own personal gain doesn't deserve to breathe. I think I've been pretty clear on that. So as we said before, the FBI opened an investigation to a similar company, International Education Services, which was run by Ruben Gallegos with the help of Sanchez. They lost all their shit for funneling money out of the charity. Somehow this one still exists. This is not a fucking government contractor. This is a 501c3. They set up a fucking nonprofit charity that received federal funds to house these kids. And then they set up a bunch of fucking for-profit companies to do the services for the fucking nonprofit. But all the companies are owned by the same people that own the fucking nonprofit. All the properties that are rented by them are also owned by the fucking chief people from the fucking nonprofit. They're putting all this money into their own pockets. And they're doing so while children are being trafficked and abused.
Dude, it's fucked up.
Southwest Key owns a network of for-profit companies, as I said, including Cafe Del Sol, Southwest Key Green Energy and Construction, and Southwest Key Maintenance.
Construction. There's where the money goes. Yeah. There's where the write-off goes, so they don't have to pay so much in taxes.
I wonder what
construction.
I wonder what they're paying for lumber and hammers and copper.
Yeah, no shit.
Probably 10 times what they should be, and that money's going into somebody's pocket. And probably half the cartel, probably half government officials. I would say politicians are certainly involved in this. Otherwise, this shit would never be allowed.
Let me ask you this, and do you think these kids are having to work these businesses?
Yes, for sure. Forced labor? Yeah, absolutely.
This is the number one worst thing I've ever heard happening in the United States.
In modern America, this is probably the worst thing I've seen.
The fucking worst.
Money from other companies is then funneled back into the charity. Money from those companies, from those for-profit companies, is funneled back into the charity as a form of management fees, which helps circumvent government limits on executive pay.
This is so fucked. Dude.
This has got to be the worst thing I've ever seen.
This is the worst thing in my lifetime.
So as of 2018, they had housing big enough for 5,000 people, but they had 14,000 minors under their care. So they were 3x capacity. I'm sure that worked out well. You think fucking kids in cages lying on the ground in fucking thermal blankets is bad? What do you think this situation looks like with no federal oversight and a company that's squeezing all the money out into the C-level people's pockets? What do you think that looks like?
Dude, this is insane.
As of 2018, they had $61 million in cash reserves. This is a fucking nonprofit. Your goal as a nonprofit should be to have a zero balance at the end of every year. Spend every fucking dollar you make taking care of those kids. But we know they're not even trying to take care of the kids. I'm just saying that's what it should be doing. A number of people have spoken out about this. Marcus Owens, the former head of tax exempt organizations for the IRS under both Republican and Democratic administrations, not a partisan person, reviewed all Southwest Keys tax returns and said that regulators seem to be asleep at the switch. I would say complicit. There's no way this is happening with the immigration issue being as big as it is, with all the eyeballs on it. There's no way something like this takes a fucking podcast to come out unless people are hiding it. And the only reason they would hide it is because they're getting money from it too.
Yeah.
He says, I think the word for it is profiteering. And he's goddamn right. This is before the hunt. So all these numbers, we remember what the immigration situation was like in 16, 17, 18. It's pretty rough.
Ain't nothing compared to now.
122,000 kids have come across the border since January this year. And that information's about a month old, so we don't know what it is now. Where are they going? Places like this.
Yeah.
And to be honest, where there's smoke, there's fire. And I seriously doubt this is the only company that's doing this. There are probably more.
Yeah. You know what we should be able to do? We should figure out where the contract goes back to, who owns the contract. So we need to investigate who in the government owns the contract, and we need to FOIA all the contracting officers of all emails that are related to this.
Yeah.
Because and just see how much the government knows.
Well, I can tell you that they know everything.
But I'm saying, like, prove it. Like, you know,
there's no way $3 billion has left the federal government over the last, 17 years, 18 years, and no one knows where it went.
It just sucks, man, because, like, there's nothing to do about it. That's the part that sucks is, like, yeah, let's get furious about illegals coming across the border, right? Dude, these are fucking children. These are children just trying, like they don't even have a clue. They don't even have a fucking chance.
No.
You know what I mean? And they're coming to the greatest country, supposedly, on the face of the fucking planet. They don't even have a fucking chance, man. And it's like, look, human beings are evil to each other. There's no doubt on that. But man, for a human being to be evil and prey on children like this is this is terrible. This is as bad as the shit that happens in countries we went and fought wars for.
Yeah. This is Banana Republic style stuff for sure.
This is that bad.
So look at here are some of the examples of the way they acted as a bank. Southwest Key loaned $4.5 million to Shockback, as we mentioned before, and an additional $1.5 million, total of $6. $4.5 to buy a building, $1.5 to remodel, which they recoup with interest, and then they pay Shockback, which, by the way, 2 of their fucking members are on the board of, so they get paid by this too for this for-profit company. Then they start paying this company $400,000 a month for that property.
Yeah.
Out of the charity. It's not coming out of their pocket. This is money that's coming from the federal government into a 501c3, and they're paying it out to a for-profit company, which they own, and paying 5-6 times more in rent than they should be.
And how's this happening in like, look, I'm not biased or anything, but I do have to say that I think Texas is by far one of the best states in the nation. And how is it happening here?
Because no one's stopping it. And I'll tell you this, Juan Sanchez and Jennifer Sanchez, as of 2018, had donated $5.1 million each to the Arizona Republican Party.
Oh.
I'm sorry, 5,100, not 5.1 million, excuse me. That was just in the off-season election in 2018. And I'm going to look up the rest.
How much to the Democratic Party?
Probably zero, to be honest.
Yeah.
Although a lot of people do
both sides.
donate to both, yeah. I love opensecrets.org because you can look up anybody. Absolutely anybody and see what they've been doing.
You hear this? I'm TDY in Yuma with CBP. You should see how packed the pods are. It's fucking crazy, man.
Yeah, I'm not at all surprised to hear that. Juan J. Sanchez. Here we go.
What's that website called?
OpenSecrets.org. He's only got one entry on here. For now. Anyways, I'll look more into his political contributions later. He's probably using cutouts and the for-profit companies to do that.
His wife, look how much Jennifer's donated.
Yeah, same amount. Before 2018, all of their political contributions had been made to Democratic and liberal causes, records show. A week later, after they gave money, so October 17th, 2018, right before the election in 2018, the midterm elections, which people don't pay attention to, by the way.
Yeah.
A lot of shit happened. Weird shit happens then. October 17th, 2018, Sanchez and his wife each donated $5,100 to Arizona Republican Party. 1 week later, the state agreed to a settlement that kept most of the Southwest Keys shelters open. This is while they were under investigation. So they're under investigation. Had always donated to liberals before. Donated $10,000 to the Arizona Republican Party, and all of a sudden the investigation goes away. And since then, they've made about $500 million in federal grants.
That's a pretty fucking good investment, right?
Guy in the chat is sitting in the pod right now. Sorry for you, guy. Sorry that you have to witness that shit, but somebody's got to see it. Ruben Gallego, 7th District of Arizona. Is this the same guy? It's Gallegos with an S at the end. Are you sure it's the same person? Because I don't think it is. Or maybe it's a misprint here, but I don't think that's the same person. I'd have to look. Community leader, he was an infantryman in the Marines. I don't think this is the same guy. But thanks for doing that research. Because he was a state legislator since 2010. That's not him. Anyways, this is about the most abjectly amoral shit I think I've ever seen in my life. I mean, I can't imagine what it would take for me. Like how, I don't know, what would the number be where I would completely fucking abandon my responsibility as a man and a human being, an American, to put children at risk and to profiteer off of that risk, to rob my fellow Americans of money that is meant to keep them safe.
I mean, like, look, I don't think you even, when you talk about rob my fellow Americans of money, I don't think that's like, I think that's the easy part. Like, I think the hard part is, how do you do this to fucking children? How do you do this to fucking children? How does our government allow this to happen? How does AOC go take a picture in a fucking parking lot and make these fake fucking narratives and all this bullshit, but doesn't want to focus on this? How do you go and ignore this? I mean, that's the fucked up part. The leaders, you know what? And it's on both sides, Republicans and Democrats. How the fuck is this going on here and nobody's talking about this?
Well, clearly it's on both sides, right?
Like, I mean, how fucked is this?
2018, they're under investigation. Juan and his wife, Jennifer, had historically only given money to Democrats and liberal causes. And then they give money to the Arizona Republican Party. And all of a sudden, the fucking conversation gets shut down. I believe this is when Jan Brewer was in office. She was the governor of Arizona at the time. So, for those of you out there who are still clinging to this political party nonsense, thinking that you have to choose a side, I'm going to say this one more goddamn time. You spent so much time trying to choose between right and left that you forgot to choose between right and wrong.
Fuck.
And now we're fucked.
Now we're fucked.
I can handle it. You can protect yourself at home. It's easy, right? Some stuff you can't. There's some overarching legislation and various forms of government oppression that you can't escape, but for the most part, you can protect yourself. These kids can't fucking protect themselves.
Yeah. And you know what's so fucked up is that here's what's fucked up. Is that the people in power of this country are so fucking weak that they don't even want to try to fuck with grown people any longer.
Well, that's what predators do.
Fucking kids.
That's what predators do. They find the easiest possible target, right? Because they're cowards. They're absolute cowards. I've never.
I mean, look, you might not be teaching these kids to cut off dolls' heads and carry rifles, but how is this much different from what other countries are doing with children?
Yeah, we think we're so morally superior.
We do, right? Like, we're so much better. It would never happen in the United States of America, and it's happening right in our backyard. Like, literally, this is going on 0.6 miles away from us right now. 0.6 miles away from where we're sitting right fucking now, Dan. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, it sure is.
Isn't that fucking crazy?
But it's not any crazier than the St. John's School for the Deaf, what I mentioned on Tuesday this past week. St. Francis, Wisconsin. Founded in 1876. Before closing in 1983, St. John had been accused of and prosecuted for over 200 molestations at the hands of priests and serial child molester, including Lawrence C. Murphy. And it was 3 institutions: the Catholic Deaf and Dumb Asylum, St. John's Institute for Deaf Mutes, and St. John's School for the Deaf. People who could not just not protect themselves, but who couldn't communicate with their parents what was happening to them.
I mean, and now
this happened in our country.
And think about this.
In Boston, all throughout the 80s, 70s, 80s, and 90s, kids were getting raped wholesale.
Dude.
And while that was happening, the Pope Benedict, was the person running the operation to move these priests around to avoid prosecution. This all happened in America, happened on our watch.
Dude. You know what's even more fucked and what gives them more power to fuck with these kids is when they've stood there and watched these kids, their parents, the only people who could give a fuck about them, say, I'd rather give my kids up than be the risk of being deported.
Right.
So do you think who gives a fuck about these kids? These kids have nothing.
Clearly not many people. And certainly nobody in fucking power.
And why would we let their parents come here? Why would they not be deported if they won't even take care of their own fucking kids? Like, why do their parents get a chance to fucking keep their feet on the soil of this free country when they say, I will be willing to give my kids up because I'm that fucking selfish. I'm that much of a piece of shit. Why do we not just deport those motherfuckers right there? Right? How do they get to go free in this country when they don't want their fucking kids?
Yeah, I don't know.
Like, how is this even a fucking topic?
Yeah, I would much rather
keep them with their kids. You take care of your kids and stay here. And if you don't want your kids, then leave the kids here and let's send your ass. Like, dude, we should just build a big fucking catapult. A catapult that'll launch these fucking pieces of shit back into their country. And if they don't take their kids and even want to take care of their kids and help, then we should just set them on that fucking catapult and launch them back into their fucking back over the border. Dude, that's a great idea. Yeah,
I mean, they certainly don't deserve to breathe air, much less breathe it in a free country. I mean, if anybody deserves an autocratic, authoritarian government pressing down on them, it's shitbags like this.
Yes.
These people deserve every bad thing in life that will ever happen to them.
Well, but you know what? But I think there's got to be two things right here, right?
I want to know who's getting paid. I want to know who other than Juan Sanchez and his fucking buddies, who else is getting paid?
Dude,
because somebody is. Somebody's getting paid for this to happen. The cartels are getting paid, and American politicians are getting paid.
I want to know who's on the board of these companies. I want to know who else is an executive listed, because they have to list where every dollar goes inside that nonprofit. I want to know who's an executive in that fucking country or in that company.
It's not just that company; it's all the cutouts.
But either way,
so those private companies, while the people on the board do have to get vetted, they don't report the same way that the 501c3 has to. So you'd have to have a warrant to do any of that, and you'd have to get the FBI involved, and the FBI was involved. Have you heard anything? It's been 3 fucking years.
Yeah. Yeah. But I'll tell you this, we got updated on fucking Trump and what he did in Russia, his Russia ties every day.
Yeah, I'll be on Alex next week to talk about this. Just to get it out to more people.
What day?
I don't know yet. Probably Wednesday. It depends on what day we record. But it'll be Wednesday or Thursday next week probably.
Let's do Thursday. I'll go.
Okay.
Let's go down there and go to let's go do our next show in front of their business.
It's not a bad idea. You guys want to do a live show in front of their business?
Yeah.
Giorgio, can we set that up? We would need pretty good internet out there. I don't know how we're going to do that. We'll have to figure that out. Maybe we can get a cell on wheels, rent it for the day.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah, this is the worst thing I've ever fucking seen in my life. It's the worst thing. This is our version of the Catholic rape scandal for this generation.
Yeah.
And it's not just about not only the kids getting preyed upon, but people are getting paid for it.
I want to know how many of these kids are dying.
Yeah,
like
how would we even know?
Yeah.
So we have no visibility on these kids, and the Biden administration won't answer questions about where they're going or
do they have to report it because they're illegal?
Well, it's not like they have fucking Social Security.
Well, exactly, right? So how do you even track them?
They're given NTAs, notice to appear, and then they're told that sometime within 30 to 60 days that ICE or CBP will reach out to them and give them a court date. Reach out to them how? What, do they got fucking email addresses?
Do you even know their names?
Jesus fucking Christ, man. Yeah, maybe we'll get Alex involved in this. I'm going to talk to him later today. This is fucked up, man. BCFS in San Antonio is another company that received $2 billion. I'm not surprised by that, Sledge. I guarantee you there's fucking 5 or 10 of these companies doing this shit.
Oh, for sure. I mean, listen, if they've got a place to hire to house 5,000, I mean, we've still got what, 105,000 left?
Yeah, well, just the new ones that have come in. So we have all these people that have come in. They stay until they're 18, right?
Yeah.
So we've had 122,000 additional children come in just since January this year. So who knows how many of these kids are in the country.
I bet you another place to look would be North Dakota, like in the Dakotas. That's exactly where another place is.
I mean, that's where the fucking most egregious shit of all time has happened to Native Americans. If you go to anywhere in the Dakotas, anywhere in Montana right now, go anywhere near an Indian reservation, you will find fucking signs up everywhere about missing girls, missing little boys. It's mostly fucking teenage girls and little boys that have just vanished off the face of the fucking earth.
Yeah.
These kids can't protect themselves.
We got to find a way to do something. We have to. This is fucked.
Yeah, we had one job.
We had one job.
One job to do. Above all else in life, no matter what else you do, what your job is, what your station, your class, your race, your nationality, your level of wealth, whatever, protect kids is pretty much a good rule for everybody.
Yeah.
And the richest country in the history of the world that thinks it's some fucking paragon of moral virtue has done this again.
Yeah.
And again. And again. And it's fucking embarrassing.
It's fucking embarrassing. It's terrible.
Yeah. And that's pretty much all I've got to say.
Yeah, that's all I got to say. I'll see you in hell.